Summation of the June 15th meeting of the Mendham Borough Town Council. Reporting from along India Brook. So anyway, the consent agenda was approved. Told me 3 items on it. Didn't read what they were. Forgot to do that. Sorry. The budget was finally approved by the state. There was some kind of details about some sort of papers they didn't file, but it was worked out, and blah, blah, blah. So the council finally approved the budget, finalized it, whatever. There was a couple of ordinances that were finally passed, I think, mostly on road paving. There was some new one on Grady Lane or something. I don't know. Some sort of grant they have to get from the county or the state or something. I don't know. $70,000. So apparently the state will pay to pave it, but the town has to pass an ordinance to do it or something. I don't know. It doesn't. Whatever. All right. So the ordinance for the $1,600,000 sewage upgrade. Still don't have details on that. I'll have to look up the papers on that and see if I can find out what part of the town they're going to reline the pipes because they leak too much water. McKinsey's liquor license was renewed. I think it's only like $1,200 or something. The whole liquor license laws are pretty lame. I think the town can only have so many licenses per the number of people in a town. So essentially, this one company gets to own both the licenses for this town, and no one else does, which is kind of non-competitive and monopolistic, and doesn't sound very bright. But anyway, whatever. Ain't going to change that one today. All right, some bonds were rolled over, a couple of $1 million worth. With the new bonds from this year, I don't know, some kind of ordinance or resolution to do that. There was approval of the contract with, I guess the company is PS&S or something. That'll be doing the water infiltration relining of the pipe work. There was some discussion regarding the commons and lighting and paving. And apparently there's some sort of Kelly Act, or I don't know what it is, some sort of agreement, and the town is obliged to be paying a percentage for those private roads in the commons, which is kind of stupid. But anyway, there was some discussion of the animal control issue again. Apparently there was going to be some local guy who was going to do it. Sorry, paper problem. But he couldn't get the proper credentials or whatever education he needed online, and so he bailed out. So the administrator's talking with Chester and Randolph or something about sharing services, and even with the township regarding the C&I property, using that to store animals, and I don't know. So we'll see. Labor lawyer. There's some discussion, but I guess they're going to get a new labor lawyer. It just seems such a racket, this government employee crap. The town has like 50 employees, and they need a lawyer. It's just, forget it. They got to break all these government unions. Hell with this crap, especially in the times to come in brush removal. So there was some discussion because they have the new ordinance where the DPW will stop by and chip up brush that you leave outside your house, on the road or by the road. And the problem is apparently they don't allow you to take brush to their dump. Leaves and grass you can take, but you can't take the twigs and sticks and logs and stuff. And it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because you don't figure that a resident is going to be bringing all that much. And what's the difference? Saving the DPW a trip. So why wouldn't it make more sense for them to just chip it on their lot every day based on how much people drop off? Then there's no storage issue, and they're going to have the chips anyway, and they still got to get rid of those. But that's not a problem as far as I understand. They can always bring more down here. So I don't know. So I think that should get resolved where they will let you drop off, a few twigs. I mean, a little bundle of sticks if you feel like it. So anyway, that was kind of shouldn't be that complex an issue to resolve. That's what that should be. All right, there was some brief mention of, I guess they've retired a couple of police cars, and there were security cameras in them, and so they're talking about using the car cameras as security cameras for the police station or something like that. I don't know exactly. They don't tell you much. I don't know. There's something about some, OME officer or something. Well, anyway, between the fire department, the police, and I don't know who the others, rescue squad, and something else. They're going to have one person who'll be a council representative or something, and be able to, go to council meetings and participate, or I don't know what the deal is exactly. There was some field closings because of all the wet weather. It was mentioned that it was on the scroll on the web page. The scroll, like we're too stupid to read something, a column of text. No, they have to scroll it across a web page. I mean, it's just so stupid and lame and idiotic. A scroll on a web page. It's not TV, idiots. You can put all the information right on the page and just let people read it. You want to put it in a little red box? Well, anyway. Lame. Anyway. So also the DPW, all their trucks, there's some change in the radio frequency. They're going to get off the fire department's frequency. But apparently the radios they have will be adequate, and they'll just have to get them readjusted for the new frequency. So some mention of the 2010 reassessment. The town doesn't necessarily have to do it. They're just filing the paperwork to allow them to do it if they choose to. It sounds like they want to do it. So I guess they're thinking you'll pay less to the state and the county if we get reassessed, but it would have to be enough less to justify the $300,000 or $400,000 it would cost for the reassessment. All right, there was the garden property, the 34B, I think it is, on Main Street or whatever it's called. And so the closing was completed on that June 30th. So it's now the town's property. The garden, Phoenix House Garden, is apparently nearing completion. And, they wasted $100,000 on that when they should have just made the garden a lot smaller and added about 10 or 12 parking spaces that are in, short supply. But whatever, that's my opinion. And during the public comment portion, Bob Geffen, I guess of the jewelry store, one of the jewelry stores. But anyway, he brought up the issue of signage again. This is the sign ordinance, so they're only allowed one sign per lot and block. But they count the entire shopping center, the entire mall is counted as one block. And so the businesses there are kind of pissed because they're not allowed to put any signs in front of their stores, advertising. And, the jewelry store guy, I guess, apparently, makes big money buying gold. So I guess there's people interested in selling their gold and diamonds. Paperwork problem again. File cabinet problem. Anyway, so the idea is they want these placard signs, 5 foot tall, whatever signs, and they obstruct the sidewalks, and they're kind of ugly and tacky. So the town kind of wants to limit them. But it does seem intrinsically unfair to say that all the people at the shopping center don't have the same privileges or rights as businesses in the center of town or someplace else. So basically the issue wasn't resolved, and he was basically told he has to go before the planning board and get these changes made or get approval for some modification to the ordinance and blah blah blah. So it sounds like nothing's going to happen, but who knows. Yeah, the last thing, the lawyer did finally, after 4 months or something, answer my question regarding the appearance problem of the bank. I can't remember what the name of it was, contributing $5,000 to the town's website. And it's a bank that the town does business with, without a competitive bidding. And, it certainly to me remains an appearance problem. The lawyer says it's not a legal problem. Banks can do this. To me, it's just pretty pro quo kind of bullshit. This is exactly why government looks corrupt and evil, is because this kind of crap goes on. If the bank's got an extra $5,000 to throw away, then why doesn't it just charge the town less for the services it's providing the town? Get more interest or some other deal. Do it in an honest way, not this backdoor, keep doing business with us because we're nice to your town kind of nonsense. I mean, it looks wrong, so it shouldn't be done. That's the point. Whether it's legal or not is almost irrelevant. I mean, it's hard to write laws covering all these individual circumstances, and it should be the council who should realize, that just doesn't look good. The town should pay its bills, and the businesses it does business with, it should be getting the best rate possible. And if the business has extra $5,000 to throw around, then maybe they'll go find someplace else to do business. But whatever. So that concludes the fun for the evening. Thanks very much. So that was the trail heading towards the Mendham Pond.